In the second part of our class, we discussed how for the Jew, going down is just part of the ascending process and how that helps us stay sane and joyous. Hope you enjoy. Feel free to drop a like.
Mrs. Turin, I love you said in a different class, you said how we can really never judge anybody because that guy maybe in Highland Park, you say every soul has to, I guess, keep every mitzvah. So you said maybe that guy in Highland Park who's not religious now, all he has to do is eat like in a sukkah. That's only mitzvah because in the previous life he did every other mitzvah. So we really can't judge. Just reminding me of, about Tshuva.
And that's why that guy in Highland Park, so to speak, came back down, because he could be above and he has lots of merits and lots of credit in his bank account above. But hey, he never ate in a sukkah. You can't do that above. No sukkahs. Spiritual sukkahs, that doesn't count. He needs to come back down in this world. Imagine, live another 80, 90, 100 years in good health. Make sure he eats in a sukkah. That's what we can do in this world. And in this world, and only in this world, we can serve God irrationally. Meaning, it doesn't make sense, but we serve God anyway. It doesn't seem to be working, but we serve God anyway. It seems to be really hard and really difficult, and we serve God anyway. Well, above it's not hard and it's not difficult, and it all works. It's perfectly rational to serve God. It's actually the only thing that is rational is to serve God. And not serving God would be really weird, strange, doesn't happen, and very irrational. But in this world, serving God can be irrational. So all of this expresses the point we're developing, that when we're in this world, and we have challenges, I have loads of challenges, seemingly I assume everyone else does as well. With all of our challenges, we can do something that my soul needs to accomplish for itself. Like Shira was saying, that Jew has to come back because he needs that sukkah. My soul needs something, and going through these challenges and deepening myself, improving my relationship with God, deepening my love for God, changing, giving God something that he can only get from a person in this world through our challenges, that could be exactly why I'm here. And that's really the whole overarching concept that's called by the sages Yerida Litzorach Aliyah, which means we go down in order to go up. Anytime we can all be in situations we viewed as a down. It was a down in my relationship with someone important to me. It was a down in my career, down in my finances, down in my health. We go through downs. This statement says there are no downs, because the only purpose of this is the ascent that follows. So if this is just creating the ascent, it's not considered a descent. It's considered literally a phase in the ascent, a phase in the growth, a phase in the gain. This is how God works. This is how creation was. Creation was God constricted himself and constricted himself and constricted himself and constricted himself. Down, 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 down. Why? For all the advantages this world can give him. For the up, for the ascent, for the gain. Loss, 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 loss. To have the profit, so to speak, of this world. So this is how God works. This is how creation works. And this is the story of our lives. This is the story of each one of our lives, that we literally go through situations that seem like downs, and really they're part of our upward journey. I think that's what Shira was really saying before when she answered my question. And she said she's been through challenges and she didn't see how it deepened her love for God, but she did see how she became a much better person because of them. That's exactly what we're saying here. That's a personal down for the sake of the up. You're going down, you're in a heart space, you're not in a fun space, you're not in a space you want to be, but we should remember God doesn't just put us in a down. There's no such thing. It could seem like he put us in a massive down. I don't see an end to this down. God doesn't work that way. It's like not possible with his system. Just doesn't work. His system doesn't operate that way. The down is to create the ascent. And sometimes we can even see it when we're going through it. And sometimes we only can see it later. But at least we should have 20/20 hindsight. At least when we look back, it should be clear, oh, I even can say I see what God. So, she responded how she really experienced that. She said that in the beginning of the class, does anyone else can really see about themselves that they went through a hard time, a challenge, what they would have definitely viewed as like a not good down situation, and they can see how it was really part of the growth they needed, or it created a situation that forced them to grow, that helped them grow, that they became a different person, a better person because of it. It was their own personal down to go up situation. I definitely have. I've definitely been through many challenging situations, and I can definitely say they definitely forced me to grow. I definitely saw in certain situations, even as I was going through them, and in others, shortly after the growth, the gains that for sure only happened because of those challenges. Anyone else has seen that in their own life?
What you said earlier kind of resonated for me, is this idea that I think what it did is like kind of, so it had something to do with my relationship with Hashem, I think. So not like, oh, that was really for my benefit, but it was more like, I definitely feel that it made me have a less superficial relationship with Hashem. Like, I think that I was able to kind of work on that.
That's the growth. That's the down for the up, because the up was that you were able to get deeper than a superficial relationship because of whatever challenges that forced you to go deeper.
Yeah.
For sure. The up can mean many different things. For one person, I mean, there's plenty of stories of like, so many stories I can think of like a person who was, we have a lot of time. We have days with them. So when we talk and say to our children, no matter how young they are, mommy had a really hard day today, and I really was grateful and knew whatever, fill in the blanks. I had a hard day, but I held on knowing this was exactly what Hashem wanted me to go through today. Or it seemed like a hard day, but then I saw Hashem in it because he did this and this kindness for me, or anything along those lines. Talk to your children. Talk to your children about how you're processing your challenges. This is modeling for them and helping them process theirs. So that's the advantage of being in it together, that the tools they need to have, because they're the exact same tools you need to have. And as you struggle to acquire those tools, you can talk about them, talk about the process, talk about the journey, talk to yourself, so to speak, with them around, talk to them, share with them, talk on the phone to someone else when they're in the room. That's when they're listening to you the most. Talk about it, and they're going to get it. They will get that message. And I don't think your children are so young, but some people here, their children are young, and they're also going through challenges. Trust me, your children are also going through challenges. And a child is never too young to learn this. It's never too young. Never too young. We can talk and talk and talk, and it just gets absorbed as how they will almost naturally process the world. That's one explanation, not the standard explanation. So Heidi, you heard it differently before. Yes, this is the non-standard explanation of merit of the forefathers, meaning the merits your parents have. Now, obviously, often we think of that as like, my father was really good, my mother was really good, my grandparents were really good, so then God is just doing extra nice things for me because of them. And that is true. That is absolutely true. But another concept in that is whatever your parents worked hard on, you get sort of as a free gift. If your parents had to struggle and overcame themselves to give charity, and you just grew up in a house where they naturally gave charity, it's natural to you. You don't know their struggle. You don't know what they had to achieve, but you just got it as a free gift. If your parents had to struggle and really push themselves to have a lot of guests and keep an open home, again, you grew up with an open home. To you, it's so natural. That's another version, another truth in the merits of our parents and how that helps us. So when you're struggling and going through challenges yourself, and you see your children are also going through challenges because you're in the same boat, you're journeying together, you could try to help them and give them some free gifts by giving them the advantages of your journey. And that could help them on theirs. But they're on their journey because they need that journey. The same reason you're on your journey, because you need that journey. Anyone else? Any other questions on this? I think Tamara's was very real. Anyone else have any questions on this? Okay. So what we were saying was that this idea of going down to go up is a story of our life. And it's really good to remember it's a story of our life, because it's a really great key to joy in our life, despite the challenges or because of the challenges, because we know that this is the going down to going up model. I know, God, your system. I'm not fazed by it. I'm not scared by it. I'm going with it. I know you created this for me, for my benefit. And I maybe could be excited about what's going to be the benefit that all of this is worth. I sometimes think that way. All of this has got to be worth that benefit. That benefit's got to be really, really amazing. So let's see what it is that's so worth it. So this really, if you really think along these lines, and like maybe you need to hear these concepts many, many, many times, because they might feel very counterintuitive, but it really helps you stay joyous within the challenges. You realize it's all from God, and it's for my up, and I'm getting it, and I'm having it, and that's why I'm going through this.